Hi there! Another week has went by and I made some art. This week, the main project that I spent my attention on was the 14 Days of Fruits Challenge, hosted by Omar Win on Instagram. I was really excited when I saw this challenge because it was an opportunity to draw from a picture for a very long time period. Well, not very long, but 1 hour, which is very long to me. Also, it's winter. My brain is working at 100% capacity, so I was excited when I saw that each of the 14 days had a fruit assigned to it. I didn't have to think in the morning about what exactly to draw. I just pulled up a reference photo and drew. It was so nice. I let myself explore what I was interested in with each fruit, and all of them posed an interesting element that I was excited to draw. So, here's how the week went. I started out pretty strong with this cantaloupe. I don't think I've ever taken a good look at a cantaloupe before. I was fascinated by the seed patterns when you open up the melon. It was intricate and full of curves that reminded me kind of like a Moroccan pattern. I used that Moroccan vibe as a reason to change the main color of the melon, which is orange. I'm not a big fan of orange, not a fan at all actually, especially of pale orange. So instead of orange, I chose to work with blues, a color that I associated more with Moroccan designs. Blue is the opposite of orange on the color wheel, so I changed the green of the melon to a reddish color. I chose a cooler red because melons are cool and juicy. I really like how this piece turned out, and it was a very interesting start. The apples were the next fruit in the challenge. I chose to draw green apples, keeping up with the cool pattern that I started with in the first day. What can I say? I was in a cool mood and I wanted to use cool colors. I was interested in capturing the dimensionality of the apple, the roundness of the apple. To do that, I chose to use blue as a way to create visual interest and a way to emphasize the shadows of the apple. Finding a shade of green was kind of difficult because the Oahu set that I have has a lot of shades of green, and using the cap as a guess as to what the marker is was surprisingly not accurate at all. Finally, I found the colors of green that I wanted, mostly of a cooler shade. I had a lot of fun with capturing the apple and getting the peaks and valleys of the apple due to the tone of the colors put down. I love the colors that I used. I haven't really experimented with layering with these markers before, but I just loved how these colors look together, both next to each other and when I layer them on top of each other. Overall, I captured the sphere nature of the apples and I had a lot of fun with the colors. The thing that I might change if I had to make this drawing again is that I would blend the colors a bit more to emphasize the smoothness of the apple's exterior. The next drawing I made was the pomegranate. I've never had a pomegranate ever in my life, so going in, I didn't have any expectations. I was more accurate to what I saw in the reference photo. Right off the bat, I knew I was going to use reds and purples. Depicting the seedlings was quite straightforward. I put down a bright red and used pinker red and deeper red to emphasize the 3D elements of the seeds. Then use a deep red to capture the depth of the shadows that are in between the seeds, that are tightly packed. The skin exterior was going to be more difficult. I saw quite a few colors in that section. I chose to focus on the highlight color of very light purple and the pink red as the main color of the pomegranate. I think I made the right choice. I didn't blend these colors together because I did not like how they looked when they were layered together. So instead, I put them next to each other because I did think they looked pretty together. I used a darker red and purple to emphasize the detailings of the pomegranate skin. The next drawing was of bananas. Wow, it didn't end up that great. In fact, it was quite bad. But at least I tried. I was not excited going into this drawing because, to me, the defining trait of bananas is the color yellow. A color which I do not like to use as a main character in my drawings. It's a nice supporting character, but to me, it's a bit overwhelming when it becomes a main character. But to challenge myself, I went and determined to use a lot of yellow. And here's the result. I honestly can't tell if I like the yellow banana itself because I'm distracted by the accent colors that I chose. The pink and the blue was an interesting combo with the yellow in theory, but practically does not work that well. Maybe if I used black as an accent color, I might like the drawing a bit more, but all I could say, the pink and blue was definitely a mistake. When I look at the banana itself, I do like that I captured the shape of bananas, and the two shades of yellow that I use complement each other quite well, as the shadow yellow and the highlight yellow. But the piece as a whole is not good. The next thing that I made was these avocados. I went in wanting to capture the bumpiness of avocado exterior, which I think I accomplished. I had so much fun as the technique I used allowed myself to utilize my shaky hands and not work against it. I also really love the colors that I used. I used a lot more colors to make each of the avocados, a lot more than my other drawings. The way I went about these avocados is that I layered down the basic colors of the avocado and then had fun by using a lot of different colors to capture the highlights and the troughs of the bumps and used dots to make the bumpy exterior. For one of my avocados, I kept with a mostly green palette, more traditional, but chose to add blues and purples for visual interest. I love the results of the green avocado, and honestly, I was gonna walk away. I spent already a lot of time on it, but then I went back and emphasized the colors that I really love, which is the blues and the purples. I wanted to make the avocados look even more bumpier. Overall, I really love this next avocado. The avocado on the right combined my taste in my color palette, which is blues and purples, and still clearly depicts avocados, which I was so amazed by. I really want to go with this technique as I go forward. And the last thing I made this week was cherries. These turned out fine. I don't think I learned that much, mostly because I used the same colors as the pomegranate, except just a bit more of the deeper red color. I tried to use a lot more whites gel pen for visual interest and correct the lighting situation that I kind of messed up with my markers. The sad thing about markers is that it's hard to go back when I forgot to leave some highlights. But overall, it was okay. Fun to make, and I like the colors. Okay, so that was the drawings that I made this week. I really like that I've taken on this challenge because it forced me to come to grips with the stuff that I'm scared of, like the color yellow, and helped me uncover techniques that I love and color combinations that I love. I can't wait to explore new fruits next week. I think going with a theme of the week might be a good strategy so I'm not left sitting at my desk for my drawing time and not know what I'm wanting to explore.